Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to episode 153 of Let's Talk Oculus. I'm your host, as always. I am Dan, and I'm joined by my co-host with a fresh new trim on the facial trim, shall we say, and the hair trim. It is Samson. Samson, how you doing? How was the week?
Week has been pretty good. I had a friend visit last week for 4 or 5 days, and it kind of felt like a middle school sleepover for those 4 or 5 days, as I got him in 13 different VR games and 2 different games on the Tilt 5 plus some tech demos.
Wow, you guys did have like a bit of a slumber party. It's like back in the day. Back in the day, everyone's bringing their consoles around or their handhelds around, having a session.
How's your move?
Oh, it's going. I spent way too long trying to build a bookshelf, and it doesn't fit properly. So that needs to go back. A lot of things happening. Getting used to Toronto here, but it's getting to the point where like I'm starting to have some free time. So I unfortunately didn't get into anything VR related apart from more walkabout, but we've already spoken about that last week. But yeah, it's one of those. I'm excited for the Connect though. I'm excited for the Connect next week. I'm excited to see what's new, if they're going to show anything new for us that we haven't already been leaked already. But I'm excited to go in, and that kind of bodes well into our kind of like new what we're going to talk about today, because we have a few news stories. We've had the Quest 3S, which has been heavily leaked. We've got a bit of news for a future game as well, but the main aspect of this episode is it's our predictions episode, which is always a really fun episode to do. Next week is the Meta Connect, if you don't know already, the Meta Connect 2024, which is on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We will be live streaming the show on YouTube. We'll be live streaming 30 minutes before it begins, which will just talk about random stuff and kind of see what's going on in the leaks and such. And then afterwards, we will record a podcast separately, which will come out the next day. So definitely join us. Links for all of that will be in our Discord channel. Speaking of Discord, Samson, there's a fresh new Discord on the block. Do you want to tell the folks about it?
It's been a good time down there. Well, hopefully they make it to part 2, and then they'll hear my little ad break about it between the parts. But yeah, come on down. We've got many roles if you want to play some multiplayer games. We got some VR trailers we like to view, talk about. This is good conversations. I started reading a new book, posted about that today. D-Max has read the book. He's a fan, Dan. He's a fan of the book too. I've read chapter 1. I too am a fan.
And if you want to know about that book, join the Discord below. And if you've already joined the Discord before, if you've not seen, we've posted a brand new link to a new Discord for lots of reasons. We basically didn't have really control of that Discord for a while. So with this new Discord, we'll be able to post events and such, and it's going to be much more fun. So definitely come on down. A good chunk of you have already come already, which is amazing. But come on down. We'll be sunsetting that specific Discord on the Meta Connect Day. We'll be doing it on the 25th of September. It will turn into read only. So definitely join the link in the description if you haven't already.
Dan, speaking of our Discord, we've got a Wordle channel as well. And did you see that Wordle has come to the MetaQuest store?
Yes, I have. I've seen the Wordles come to the MetaQuest store, although it's a bit false advertising. It's more just like a browser extension. It just takes you to the browser itself, and kind of you can play Wordle on there. So it's not as exciting as one would say.
You played it?
No, I just read the Upload VR article about it. They were like, there's misinformation on this Wordle app, even though it's advertised that this is a Wordle app in VR. It just kind of opens a 2D browser with Wordle, and you can just play it.
It's sneaky. So, it is free.
It is free. But maybe someone really just wanted an app on their thing so they could just play Wordle with like
It's
a
a quick
shortcut.
shortcut. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the majors wanted. Speaking of other things, before we get into the news here, went on to the Quest earlier today. Still cannot delete any apps, which we expected from the V69 update. It looks like all the other features are there. It's just I still cannot delete the apps. Have you
I'm
tried that
I'm
at all?
No, I'm not on 69. At least I wasn't last I checked, which was after we recorded last. I
Yeah,
haven't really checked, as
yeah.
mostly my friend was in my quest.
Sometimes I check and it just says update now and it doesn't automatically update. So sometimes it gets stuck. So maybe you just need to check that and see if it works. I don't know. But yeah. Also one more thing. Now that I've got my bookshelf kind of put together behind me here, I've just realized it's the perfect excuse to buy a MetaQuest 3 dock. So I'm now in the market of a dock just so it can look
Oh
real
boy.
nice. And I'm not gonna lie, Samson, the bloody Quest official one, the Meta one, is so expensive. It's so expensive, but it's the only one that kind of looks nice. It's the
I
only
think
one that
so.
kind of looks sleek and nice. The other ones have all got the the typical like third party stuff that kind of looks all clunky. I mean, Bobo have just come out with theirs, which does look really nice, but I no longer have my Bobo S3. I sold that just before I moved to Toronto here, so that won't work anyway. But all of the docks just don't look nice. Like, don't look nice. I want like a sleek
Sounds like
horizontal
you're.
duck, and it's the only one available is the Quest one, the official one.
Yeah. I was gonna say, sounds like you're ending up with that one.
It's expensive. It's really expensive. It's really expensive, but I don't
How
know.
bad do you want to look good?
It's the OCD. It just looks real nice. It looks real nice. I need to, I thought it was about $40 cheaper than it was, but I just Googled it and it's actually much more expensive than anticipated. I think it's like $130, $140
You're thinking
US.
about this all wrong. I just read about this in that book we were talking about. You should have been thinking about it being way more expensive, and then you would have been pleased with the price you found.
It is 7% off on Amazon right now.
I heard
So
they were $300.
what is this book? Can you tell me what this book is, or do I have to go to the Discord to find out what this book is?
You should be already in the Discord, but I
I
can
am
tell
in
you
the
what the
Discord.
book is. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by
Mm,
Robert Cialdini.
okay. So you telling me it's 300? I see it at 170, $80 Canadian, and I think that's a great deal. It's a
Exactly.
great
And you're
deal.
like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't know. I might stick to just wired charging for now and just deal with it. Samson, should we get into some news before we get into predictions?
Yes, I predict we will.
You predict correctly. Okay, we have three to four news stories on the list. It was actually quite a short news story. So the first one is we've got I mean, I feel like every week now it's a leak for the Meta Quest 3S. At least next week it will be just revealed and we can stop talking about leaks here. But we've got a bunch more leaks, Samson. So first of all, on a South Korean forum, like a Reddit as such, 9 images of the Quest 3S have been leaked, and they're pretty much someone's got the Quest 3S, they've got their hands on it, and just taken a bunch of photos of it. So we finally see the proper Quest 3 in the wild. Key things to note: there is no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So no way to connect your headphones, at least using the jack. You might still be able to use, obviously, USB-C headphones. The
That's what I
action button.
use.
Oh, Sam, what is that, Samson? What is that? Tell the people who are audio
I don't know
listeners
what
here.
they're called anymore. I talked about them on one of the podcasts where we talked about audio, though.
They're not the Anchor Power Core.
Oh, yeah, power or something. Yeah, PS maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like Soundcore
Yeah, maybe
S10 or
that's it.
P10 or
Soundcore. Yeah,
something.
yeah.
See, I don't even have them. I already know them.
You know your audio.
I
I
know.
don't. I
Yeah.
just use them. They're good. They get the job done. I remember them being kind of pricey though.
Yeah, so you've got that. I think that's around. I think it's around $80 USD. I think you can get it at maybe up to 100 USD, depending on if you're on the sale or
Retailer.
such.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of sales and such that you could potentially get. So this is very similar to when we had the Quest 3. Someone had it early and such. But anyway, no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There's an action button, which was also found in the like Meta support page, telling you about the action button. So there's like a new button. It seems like instead of double tapping the headset and such, you could just click that for pass through.
It's a
But
bit more natural.
yeah, and it being called the action button, as it says in the support page, most likely it'll be configurable where you can just change it to stuff that you want. Like, do you want it to be
Any
pass through?
action you want. Yeah.
Any action do you want? Do you want it to be like a quick video or a quick screenshot or something like that? So
I'm going to make mine Wordle.
you won't have one, Samson. You've got a Quest 3.
Well, I got to try the Quest 3S for science. They have a return policy, Dan.
They do have a return. Oh, okay. You're taking a page out of my book. You're taking a page out of my book.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What would you use the action button for? Like if you had like a specific button
Pass
that you
through.
could use.
That's the only thing I'd use it for. I use double tap all the time. Unless I can also double tap, then I'd have an extra button basically. Ooh, what would I use it for? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know what I would use it for, to be honest. I'm trying to think here. I mean, taking a screenshot would be really handy because I actually don't mind the double
Start
tap.
recording. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe recording. I think for me would be a screenshot would be really fun to have. But yeah, wondering what else could it be? I don't know. Let us know, folks, for the comment down below if you're interested. Well, not interested. Tell me what your action button will be like. Other things, we've got the battery has been shown to be 16.74 watt hours, which
What?
probably means nothing to you, but that's between the Quest 2 and Quest 3, so slightly smaller battery than the Quest 3. I anticipate that it's probably going to have the same battery life as the Quest 3, to be honest, even with a smaller battery, just because the lenses don't need to take as much power. So it kind of looks like the same. And then it will come with an 18-watt charger, just like the S3, and the exact same touch controllers and the exact same soft strap as well. Anything you learn extra from that, Samson?
Not anything in particularly of interest, I suppose. I'm more interested in the price, and that was not leaked.
No, that was not leaked at all. Also,
I don't think this is anything surprising, right? Maybe the headphone jack, but that doesn't. Yes, it might affect some, but there's other solutions that I find to be pretty easy. The action button's cool, but okay, I can double tap. And then we knew about the lenses and generally about how big it would be, and the battery isn't too surprising. Like,
no,
that's maybe the I didn't even probably think about the battery before. No, I don't really think about the battery because, Dan, I've got 5 Bobos.
Yeah, but you're in an extreme. This headset is for your average consumer. The one who doesn't want to spend $500 or something.
Your average consumer can buy a Bobo, one battery, and still be. But your average consumer is not going to kill the battery anyway. They're not going to be in for 2 hours. So let's move right along.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So the 3.5 millimeter jack exclusion is a bit odd to me because if those with Quest 2s might have like those those official Meta headphones which were shorter, or they weren't like official, but they were like licensed, right? But they had a shorter cable. The Logitech, I think they were.
Yep.
They had a shorter cable. Those automatically now don't work if you bought them for the Quest 2. Obviously, some could argue if you want to buy those, then maybe you'll want to also just invest in the Quest 3. But now those won't work.
I gotta tell you, Dan, though. They set precedent before going from Quest 1 to Quest 2. They changed the audio. It used to be 2 headphone jacks.
That's true.
Then they went to 1.
And now they changed
it, and now they've gone to none. So we look forward to Quest 4 having -1.
Yeah. So Samson, I'm assuming with the headphones that you use, there's no real delay in audio. Do you find like quite low latency? Because they have their own
Yeah,
Bluetooth adapter, right, that you plug in to the
yeah.
USB
I don't
C.
notice latency, and I play a good amount of rhythm games.
Yeah, because I think if you try and just do Bluetooth audio directly to the headset, like with your AirPods and such, there is significant lag.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, so they need to make sure that they've either fixed that or come up with a solution because, I think a lot of average people will probably have like AirPods and they'd want to just pair their AirPods to the headset. And if it still has the same latency, then we've got an issue here.
Is there a USB C headphone? Like, is that audio for
You
any
can buy
headphone?
a wired,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. All of the Apple wired ones are now USB C, because their
okay.
phones
So,
are. So
so that just
it's around,
replaces that.
yeah.
Yeah. So that just replaces the 3.5 millimeter.
Yeah, that's true. Adapters. We all love adapters. Samson, that's not the only thing that leaked. Something else that
Wait, there's
leaked.
more.
Yeah, there's one more thing. So a bunch of accessories was leaked as well. We don't, a bunch of these we already know about. Like we know that there's going to have like a silicon facial strap. We know about like the prescription lenses and such. These are all things that we can get from the Quest 3. However, there's a brand new facial cover called the Open Facial Interface Cushion. There has been a picture surfaced, and this will be available for the Quest 3S and the Quest 3. Essentially, this looks like the standard
Open.
facial interface, but has like two significant gaps at the bottom of the actual interface itself. It's an interesting design. It's a really interesting design. It kind of gives me like
Dan,
infinity symbol kind of.
it's a silly design.
It's a silly design. What makes it silly?
Because if you want something that's open, there shouldn't be something there
Yeah,
on
but
your
then your
face.
eyes. I guess the problem is
You
that
need a
if you.
halo strap.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Otherwise, they give you a halo strap, and then that changes the whole strap and such. I think to use a facial interface, you have to create something that goes all the way around your face, but then has a gap past that so you can see down. Um, it's an interesting one that they've decided to do it though, because obviously this probably is important for mixed reality. Probably a lot of people would like that. I personally really like the open face design. I've spoken about that before on the Quest Pro and such, so I could see myself
All right,
interested
I'll
in
get one.
this. Yeah, you get it all. You get it all. Be the
I got to
tester.
try it. I do. I do like mixed reality games a lot, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to throw me off. But it is something I might be able to get used to. But I will not. I will not change my stance on. I will look silly.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to look any different. I don't think you're going to look. I think it's going to look exactly
Depends
the
your
same.
angle. Depends the
Yeah, it
angle.
depends on your. I've seen you post videos of you playing some music games in the car parking lot, or not in the driveway and such. That's what we call looking silly. Ain't no head strap gonna, any kind of facial strap gonna change that. Um, I'm actually very interested in that. I feel like it's going to be too expensive, but I'm actually very interested because I really
Yeah,
like the
what
open design, and it also it's breathable. It's more breathable for your eyes when you've got that open design.
what price do you think it'll be? And at what price do you think is what you would buy it at?
Well, that's a good question. What's the question for you? Question for let me just find out is what's the price of an actual facial cover on Meta's website right now? If I look on the
John say.
webs, yeah, if I look on the website, the silicon one is $40. So I think it would just be $40.
Jiminy
Um,
crickets.
yeah, which I don't think's worth it. I think it's if I
Paid
was gonna,
$40 for that? That's crazy.
you paid $40 for that, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it too
At
excited.
this point, the $40 is what I paid for the globular cluster, which I actually love, and it comes with 3 different facial interfaces. So that makes
They
me
they
like
reached out to
globular
me.
cluster even more.
They reached out
You
to
should,
me the other day, and they're sending me one.
yeah, there you go.
So I'm actually excited to try it because it's funny because you literally
I should
mentioned it
have
on the
reached
pod.
out to them.
You mentioned it on the podcast last week, and they literally reached out to me immediately afterwards, after it posted. So they either watched it or it was just a massive coincidence that it came in. Also, by the way, the Soundcore
My globular
Anchor,
cluster.
the Soundcore Anchor wireless VR earbuds that you have, they are on the Quest website. Like you can buy them directly from there, and they're $100
Oh, I
US.
think I feel like I got them 75. I think I got them at
Amazon
Target
I think well,
or
Amazon
Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon have a lot of sales, especially in Black Friday. I think when we did like our holiday episode last year, we talked about them, and they were like $20-$30 off on Amazon. So you've got that, and also they sell the. I've not seen this one before, but the Razer Hyperspeed earbuds for MetaQuest 3, and that's $150. So they do sell third party ones which are wireless on there already. But yeah, I think $40 is pretty silly, to be honest. I think it should be 30 or 25 at the very
That's yeah.
most
25
to
to 30 is where I was gonna.
for a facial
30.
strap, especially if the facial strap is just like the stock one, but then it just has like, a little bit of a slightly different design for the open. Like it really should be less than that, but we will see.
I'd settle for $30 for a facial.
I hope they have with those facial straps. Though I hope they make different colors for them because I've got all these orange and blue color, which they have as the facial strap and the head strap, and they sell that for $50. At least if you're going to
That's
sell the
silly.
facial strap, do some different colors so we can have that. Yeah, it's interesting actually. Walking at the store, you can also buy like Kiwi Designs vertical stand as well on here as well. So you can actually buy a lot of third party stuff. But I guess Kiwi is now licensed as well in here. But anyway, that's the Meta Quest 3S. Sam, you got anything else to say about this Quest 3S? I guess there's no surprise apart from the price at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's start this fight.
So, second news story: Thrill of the Fight 2 was teased. We basically had a person punching a bag, and then he walks away, and it's a Thrill of the Fight 2. That's basically all we got. It's a short tease with no gameplay. They have confirmed though that it'll be playable on the Quest 2 as well. The release date is to be revealed very,
Dan,
very soon.
you know what is very soon?
Um,
MetaConnect.
is that true? Is that true? I'm not sure.
MetaConnect is very soon. Do you
Yeah.
think we get release date then?
I think so. I didn't even put
Yeah.
that in my predictions, but I think so. It will also include multiplayer as well, just FYI. I think this game is one of the most anticipated games, and it's such a small little indie game, and it's so anticipated. It's mental.
Did you see
Um,
that? You watched the trailer, yeah?
yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
The guy looked just like Six Live. I thought it was him, and then I went on Twitter, and it was just him tweeting at people. This isn't me. This isn't me.
I noticed that too. I thought exactly the same when I watched it because he said he was going to announce something as well. So
Yeah.
I thought it was that, and then all of a sudden it said Thrill of the Fight. I was like, oh, okay. Completely different. Are you excited about this? I'm extremely excited about this game.
Yeah. I'm excited also for mixed reality in it. It's
Yeah.
a great Thrill the Fight 1 is a great mixed reality game. I wish I could record myself on my phone in mixed reality. I need to be able to do that, Meta. Please.
Mm-hmm.
I should have
You,
put that in
you
my
used to be able to
predictions.
do it. You used to be
Yeah,
able
and
to
then
do this.
Meta kept updating their system and all that, and the games got out of whack with it, and now no games really work with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, never mind. But yes, like it will include multiplayer. I'm
I'm
excited
excited
because
for it. Yeah.
the mixed reality will be built from the ground up this time with it. So I think it would just be much better and much more polished. And we've got a proper studio working behind it rather than just I don't know how
One
big it
dude.
was. Maybe one person, I think it was, but
Yeah.
maybe more than that. But we have a proper publisher and a lot of money coming behind this, so we're finally going to get it. And yeah, I think it's going to be shown next week for sure. All right, final news story.
Fly away.
I love the little puns before we get into it. We've got United Airlines that have announced that SpaceX's Starlink will be available on all of their aircraft starting late 2025. This is not really a VR related thing, but high speed internet on the planes, which means low latency Wi-Fi as well for all the passengers, not just the business class folks. Who one airline announced that they'll all have Quests or something like that for business. I can't remember which
That's
airline
cool.
it was. But yeah, so it's going to have that, and that's going to be quite massive for people who want to stream content and such on their headsets. More for the future, obviously late 2025. This might be a Quest 4 out by then, or might be like some sort of new Apple Vision or something like that. But just an interesting one. Taking many UA flights? Is
No,
that a big popular one for
no.
you?
I feel like I'm mostly JetBlue
Yeah, that's
or
fair.
or American. I can't even remember last time I flew United.
I think I've flown with them once max, but obviously I'm not in the States.
Dan, I've just realized that the first Thrill the Fight came out in 2016. That's 8 years.
Wow. Wow.
That's like GTA numbers.
Yeah, I'm expecting $1 billion revenue after this second game comes out. All right,
Anyway, yeah.
Samson, let's wrap up part one here with what we've been playing. And like I said, I haven't been playing anything apart from I played a bit of Walkabout, went in with Dave and his wife Dimples as well. Gilman was also there. All in the Discord. If you want to join us on that, Dave just posted, said he's in, and I was like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. Let me just jump in, which is great because thanks to Dave, but definitely thanks to his wife Dimples more than anything. I found every single ball in the
Nice.
actual one, so we got every single one. She was amazing at it. Like
I have too.
every time I was trying to find it, she was just there in the corner being like, "Oh, you've not got it? It's just over there. It's just over there." She was amazing at it. But yeah, they're quite hard to find. Some of them are really like well hidden, and because they just blend, they're like the same color as some of the like
You've got to look above the
assets,
ground for more than a few.
and some of them in the ground as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
in the ground. But yeah, I've got all the balls now. We roll on. Samson, what have you been playing?
Dan, I've been playing. I'll start off with the Walkabout because I got into Mars. The low gravity. I love low gravity. I wish I could play low gravity on other maps as well.
Mhm.
Definitely takes some getting used to, but I by the end of it, I was really loving it. I love this how it feels like the skate park. The love using those ramps. You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
woo. Yes, it's a very satisfying course.
yeah.
Did you
Oh,
notice the birds?
no,
So
I don't
so
think so.
there's sounds of birds playing, and they're not actually there. They're just piping them in through speakers that look like rocks.
Oh yeah, I saw the speakers that look like rocks. That's a really cool thing. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
remembered that last week you didn't have a chance to play it, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
this is
Exactly.
your like proper impressions. Like in terms of just in like an overall impression, what did you think of the course?
Oh, I love it. I feel like it's one you can go back to and play a bunch
Mm-hmm.
that you'll want to do that for, as opposed to the DLC where you're like, oh, that was cool. All right. Like there's no IP or anything, so there's no reason not to play this course in my mind.
Yeah, I know it
It's a
doesn't really
fun
get
one.
old. It doesn't
Yeah,
really get old or anything like that. Yeah, it's
and
not
it's
gimmicky or anything.
reasonably the pars are pretty generous on a lot of the holes,
Yeah, and you
so you
remember what
don't
your
feel like you're
scores
doing
were?
it terribly. Do I remember? No,
Yeah,
it
remember?
was
No, you don't remember.
under par, and over par. Actually, the hard one did me in. The easy course, I had an easier time with. The hard course, I just started going for crazy shots,
Mm,
and then got 8 strokes. I got a lot of snowmen.
yeah, fair. That's fair.
My first go through, at least. I like that now we can restart the course as well, Dan. All you have to do is go into settings and bing, bam, boom, restart the course. And the club. I do kind of like the club because the end of it is nice. It's got the structure from hole 17 on it. And it's just
Hmm.
a very beautiful, intricate structure. That said, I immediately went right back to my Gandalf staff. But I do
Yeah.
love it. Mars probably gets like an 8.1 from me.
An 8.1. That's really, yeah, that's really. I mean, I think I said 7.5
Yeah.
last week. I think the club reminds me of like the fibia tibia on your
Yeah,
leg.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so it feels like a skeleton rather than the. I mean, I can see what they're doing with the curves, but it kind of looks like a skeleton, which is kind of funny. But I've kept the putter. I like to just keep the putter on for the longest time if I can. I did like the Wallace and Gromit one was solid too. I do like the Wallace and Gromit avatars, by the way. We had Dimples in there was
They are
playing
nice.
with Feathers McGrath, and it was so good. That might be the best one that I've seen, actually.
It's what my friend played with as well. It was very funny.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was really good, really good. All right, what else you got going on?
Well, now I'll talk a little bit about getting my buddy into all the games I got him into because his experience, he is an avid VR player, but he uses the Valve Index. Valve Index is a little dated at this point, Dan.
Mm,
And he had never played the PlayStation. His wife has a Quest 2. He really was impressed with the PlayStation 2. I put him in Synapse first so that he could use the eye tracking, and he played until he beat it.
wow,
He was very into Synapse, and he was
wow.
just like, the eye tracking is the future. Like it just felt intuitive. I didn't have to think.
What do
Um,
you use the tracking for in that game?
for doing the telekinesis.
I see. Wow, that's impressive that he just completed the game. I think he's on the same level of how many games I've completed this year.
And then I got him into Runner, where Runner is you're on a motorcycle shooting enemies, and I guess it's kind of like waves, if you will, but you're going through levels.
Mm.
And it's co-op, couch co-op. So his wife was using a dual sense and going left and right, controlling the motorcycle as he was on the motorcycle shooting in all
Oh,
directions.
cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really fun.
It did almost end their marriage, but
Is
it was
Runner
good.
is that on PSVR as well, or is that
It's
on?
on all platforms. Maybe, yeah, I think it's on Steam. It's definitely on Quest and PlayStation. I think PlayStation's the only one that has the co-op, though.
Yeah, and that seems actually really fun. That seems like a really fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Then he got in. I wanted to show him some VR, so I got him to Soul Calibur and Crash Bandicoot, a couple of easy ones. He thought that was pretty cool. Then got him into some room scale games because I have a huge driveway. So I got him in T for God. He really got into that one.
Mm.
I got him, and also outside for mixed reality, I got him in Yuki. He played through the whole mixed reality mode of that. Got real into it. He's like, "This is tricking me to work out."
Welcome to VR workouts.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hmm.
Then I got him into Drop Dead Home Invasion, which he also beat in my basement. And then he joined me. I picked up Breachers on PlayStation, and he joined me Friday night for my
Oh,
Breachers
nice.
game. And then we just played a bunch of the Walkabout new course. Oh, and finally broke out the Tilt 5, Dan. Tilt 5 is the AR headset that uses, you lay out like a silver platter on the table, and it uses almost projection, it kind of looks like. So the game board just appears in 3D in front of you. And I got him into Headland, which is sort of a button masher adventure game type of deal. You're a little character, and you swing your sword at the enemies, and kind of feels like a basic Zelda, I guess, if you will. Basic, very very basic Zelda.
Fair enough.
And then Battle Planet, which is, and both of these games are actually available flat on Steam. Battle Planet is essentially a moon that it's a bullet hell. You have a little character that can shoot in 4 different directions. Enemies are appearing. You have to defuse some bombs for a certain amount of time, hold off the wave, goes to the next level. Both would probably be pretty lame, though, flat. Not going to lie about that.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
and then I trickled in a few other Red Matter 2, Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy Edge, and Tetris Effect. But overall, it was a great time. Loved showing it off, and I convinced him he will be buying a Quest 3.
A 3 or 3S?
A 3. He also works. They live in an RV, so he works from home out of it. And I was kind of I put him in virtual desktop and showed him like how you can see the monitors and all that. And I think it got his brain turning
Yeah.
about the
Oh,
possibility of not even having to worry about the monitors.
yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, look at that. Just selling VR, just spreading VR to all, with that showcase. That was a pretty good showcase. You showed him a lot that you could be done. That's a good range
Yeah,
as well.
and there was still so much more to do.
Yeah, for sure. That's fantastic. I'm glad he's getting the Quest 3. That's really cool.
It
I
was
guess. Yeah.
it was nice showing off VR to someone who I knew had VR legs, and he's just such a gamer. Like he hopped into Star Wars Tales of the Galaxy Edge in the middle of my save file. He's like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'll figure it out. I know video games," and he really did.
Yeah, so you don't have to put him in like first steps and make sure that the
Exactly.
legs are okay, or like 15 minutes, is that enough? Take a break and all that stuff. You can just throw him in it and he's good to go. So that's really
He
cool.
played longer than I can last in VR for sure. It's just hours and hours.
He was having fun, so much fun. Sweet. Did you play anything else? Did you want to talk about anything else before we wrap this part up?
No. Let's get into our predictions.
Fantastic. All right, that'll do for part one. And part two, we will get into plenty of predictions for next week's Meta Connect. So we'll see you then.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part two, the Meta Connect 2024 predictions. We've both got 4 predictions each, and then we've also got a couple community members who gave us a couple predictions. So we have around about 10 predictions until Samson gives me a range of more right at the end there, because he just loves predictions. He just loves predictions. Can you get them right,
Predict
though?
I do.
Can you get them right?
No, this episode would be trash if we were correct.
That's fair enough. All right, Samson. Let's do this. Maybe we can go one each, and then we'll throw in a community member. So, Samson, you can kick off our predictions. What is your first prediction?
Dan, first prediction: Beat Saber mixed reality mode. Shadow drops on that day. You can play it. I can play it. Everybody can play it that day. Now, Dan, this comes with a little bit of research done here in that I read the MetaConnect program. In the MetaConnect program, they discussed momentum in mixed reality. And so I think they do mention in this that they're mostly going to talk about showcasing how developers have done that. This also might be in the developer end of it, but going into that, I feel like they're going to show some first party mixed reality something, and I'm just going to take a swing at Beat Saber.
Beat Saber makes the most sense because it's a glaring omission from their catalog, being the biggest VR game of all time, and still is, and does not have mixed reality. And you bring in mixed reality with the Quest 3S with Beat Saber, it's a great prediction. I'm a big fan of that prediction. I'll give you the kudos for that prediction. I didn't even think of that, but I love your research. Do you think having mixed reality for Beat Saber will get you to play it more?
For sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I don't play it now. Would you be happy with just with the mixed reality like Synth Riders, where it's kind of just like a portal in front of you and it just comes at you? Is that good enough?
Precisely, and there's some additional the lighting things that go on in Synth Riders that they can do. And now, I also would like to be able to talk to my friends in multiplayer in Beat Saber, but I'll take one thing at a time.
I don't know if that will be such a big announcement compared to just having mixed reality.
They'd just be like, just party up.
Yeah, just party up. We have the party feature. I think that's a fantastic prediction. This Connect is only 1 hour long. In the end of the day, it's not long like the last one. I can't remember the last year's one, to be honest, but I remember at least one of them being 2 hours long, being very, very, very long. And they talk about everything, right? They talk about not only the Quest, but also like their research that they've been doing, the glasses, just various messenger stuff. Like it's a Meta Connect. It's not a Quest Connect, right? That's what
It
our
was
gaming
90 minutes last
showcase.
year.
90 minutes last year. So this is the shortest one, right? I think we've had 2 hours beforehand and now 90 minutes and then now 60 minutes here. So it's then when they're going to show stuff, they're not going to show much of it because they have so much to pack in there. So yeah, having a Beat Saber announcement with mixed reality is a great idea.
The 90 minutes might actually include the developer part though as well. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Very good, very good. Okay. With my prediction, with my predictions, I've tried to like do a lot with the actual predictions, so it's not just the Quest 3, the S3S comes out. We know that. Okay, my prediction one: the Quest 3S comes out at $299 and is out at the end of October, day and date with Batman Arkham Shadow. Alongside it, as we spoke about in the news story. Alongside it, they released their own low latency headphones for $100 US, which will bring low latency Bluetooth audio to the Quest 3, 3S Pro, and their Ray-Ban smart glasses.
Will they look like Batman?
No, I don't know if no. It will look like the Quest 3. It will be white and just in line with their style. But now I'm not saying this is going to be like an AirPods kind of thing or whatnot. It's just specific for their device. Kind of like, I don't know if you noticed that PlayStation created like a low latency headphone that you can use with the PlayStation Portal, with the actual PlayStation 5 itself. Kind of similar to that, but a cheaper alternative than that PlayStation
Solid one.
Yeah.
Here's my view on it, though. There's so many headphones out there already that people own, like AirPods or Beats. And why not just team up with those companies to get them to work so people don't have to buy a whole new thing when they're already buying your headset? But I do like the prediction, and since it has no 3.5 mm jack, I think it's a pretty smart one. I'm glad I didn't lead with my prediction, which was pretty much that same prediction, with slight variance.
Yeah, I mean, with the dissecting it a little bit more, the Quest 2S, I think it just can't come out more than $299. I think if it comes out more than $299, then that's a big mistake. $349, $400. It's way too close to the Quest 3. It does not look inviting whatsoever. A $299, perfect price point. I don't think they'll be able to get lower than that either. It's a really fine line. I think $299 is perfect.
Two sizes though, correct? If I believe there are going to be two different hard drive specs.
I don't know. Did you see that? I did not.
I feel like I read it somewhere, but it might have been somewhere on like Twitter or something like this. So it doesn't really hold much water, but there could be. And I don't know how much more it'll be.
If they could do $249 and $349 at two different SKUs, that'll be
$249.
I don't think so. I don't think they would. I don't think so either. But I just think there's no. It's like with the PlayStation 5 Pro, with that just being 2 terabytes, it's $700, one price. There's nothing else going on. I think it'd be the same. I think it'd just go one SKU and you're good to go. The thing is, like, if it is $299, and then there's let's say that's $128 for $299. If it's like $400 or $450 for the next storage option, it
wouldn't be more than $4. I don't think it'd be more than $4. But it does get you so close to it. It gets you to within $130, $150.
Yeah. For those, like, would you trade? And then you're like, okay, if I'm spending $400 on a Quest 3S, would I just save a little bit more and just go for the Quest 3 later on down the line and get the proper crisp lenses though. Like the lenses are so much. The lenses are so much better. Like it's night and day better.
I agree, but that's $150 that could be spent on accessory and or games, which could
Spend on
go
those low
right.
latency headphones.
You could get headphones, you get a Bobo battery strap, and you could
Yeah.
get a game.
All their official stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're
Now,
right. Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to lead into my next prediction, which was essentially that prediction, so it goes pretty well. I said Quest 3S comes $299 with Batman. However, I didn't go the audio route. I just said it comes with Batman through January.
Oh, so like an Asgard's Wrath kind of thing?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
They ain't going to give away Batman forever.
Well, let's keep going into our community prediction because it's all like similar here. Inferno 9, big fan of the show. Big ups to Inferno 9. He says that he's hoping that they announce Batman will be packaged with the Quest 3S. So kind of basically the same as well. I mean, I think I've said that before as well. We've all hoped. I think that makes so much sense. And if they don't, then what are they doing? You know,
that'll be a letdown. That'll be a letdown.
Imagine if it's $299 with Batman. That's a great deal. That's a really good deal. To be honest, I don't know. You know, maybe okay. Here's another thing though. Maybe it's not $299. Then maybe it is $350, but it comes with Batman. Okay, let me say this, Samson. Let's do this scenario. Would you prefer $299 or would you prefer $349, but it comes with Batman?
I don't see them increasing the price with Batman because that just defeats the purpose. Isn't that why you package a game in with the console? Like they did with Asgard's Wrath? I guess Asgard's Wrath was first party, but they must be doing something with this one, right? I don't know. I know it's camouflage, but...
Yeah. I mean,
does Meta own camouflage?
Yeah. They own camouflage, yeah.
Then, yeah. They wouldn't... I don't see them charging extra for it. But that to answer your question, I guess it would be $299.
Well, that's what I mean. They're not charging extra for it. It just costs $349 to sweeten the deal. They'll throw in Batman because let's say they can't get it to $299. So they're like,
there's no $299.
Okay, it's no $299, only at $349, and so therefore we'll throw in Batman.
Yeah, I would $299 or $349. I think are both. I think both could happen. I just think that you're right. Last week when you said they wanted to start with the 2.
Yeah, I think they have to start it with the 2.
Unfortunately for them, they can't make it a math problem of $299 plus $50. So
no. And you know, if they, I would say, I would agree with that. I would say it's better to have $299 without Batman. To be honest, I think having that $299 is a big deal. And
here's the thing:
people will buy Batman afterwards and such anyway.
But people will buy it for Batman. You think?
Exactly. Yeah. People will buy it for Batman, so people will spend it anyway. So just give it. If you can't do Batman at $299, just do $299. Ignore Batman. People will buy it. Maybe put Batman on the cover and saying this. You could buy this with the Batman.
Batman's coming with it.
You should do a Batman special edition and have a black version of this and the Quest 3. That's what you should have. But that's a very bold prediction.
That's the Xbox one. What do you mean? Maybe we finally do see that one too.
Yeah, that is the Xbox one, actually. Oh my gosh, that's true. That's true. I didn't even put that in the prediction.
Me neither, because it's so silly.
Side note, let's just remember that. Was that shown in the last year's Connect, right? With Microsoft, that there's going to be a Xbox Quest, which is going to be a black version of the Quest 3 packaged with an Xbox controller. And once again, just like some of these features that they announce at Connects, just doesn't happen for a long time. It just doesn't happen. And sometimes the Connect's been like that, where you've got like just stuff that they just say because it's exciting, but then it doesn't happen. It's like the Zoom and Meta Horizon Workrooms collaboration that took a whole year for it to come. It's ridiculous. So actually, that's a good thing. I didn't even think, I completely forgot about that they have a Black Quest. So maybe they scrap that and be like, actually, we'll do a Batman version instead, which will be exactly the same, but Batman. Batman. All right, Sam. So my second prediction: Resolution Games, the folks behind Demio, as you know, will finally reveal their first tease for their upcoming official Dungeons and Dragons game that
Oh
they're
boy.
confirmed to be working on. I checked. I did some research. Did some research as well. So back in January, Tommy Palm, who is the CEO and founder of Resolution Games, he says that Dungeons and Dragons offers one of the most richest fantasy worlds that have ever been created, and it only gets bigger with every new source book and adventure. We're beyond humbled to have the opportunity to work with such an incredible IP and look forward to sharing the first details of this new project in the future. That was back in January.
We're in the future.
I think we're in the future, and I think this is a perfect time if they can show off a tease. Now, I don't know if it fits in the keynote or it just gets shown like on Twitter and such and social media during that time, but I got a feeling we'll see it next week.
Did they just get the IP that in January? Because games take a long ass time to develop, Dan.
They do, but they announced that I don't know if they started working on it then, though. I don't know if they started working on it, because they could have easily started working on maybe the Dungeons and Dragons game is very similar to Demio, like incredibly similar, and it just has like a Demio coat of paint on there in a way, and not Demio.
No, it's gonna be something totally new,
but built on the same engine and such. Yeah, I don't know. Like that was in January. I was just looking through like a bunch of different publishers and developers and seeing like what we're waiting for and such. And this seems like one that we could potentially see a tease. I'm talking like Thrill of the Fight kind of tease that we saw this week. A similar kind of thing.
Yeah, I got you. Real tease. Would you like my next prediction? Or are we going to throw in more community?
No, you go for prediction 3 here. We'll do prediction 3s and then we'll throw in a community.
Okay. We're going to get some Horizon Worlds going to be shown off. It's going to be highlighted a good amount in this. And I'm predicting a new game world, like how they had that Rumble game of sometime in the past. We're gonna get a new game. Don't ask me what type of game, but they're gonna be showing off Horizon World, a new game to try to get you into that app. They're gonna be pushing that. It's gonna be seen.
I like it. I like the idea. It makes sense. They push in Horizon Worlds a lot, and I think with the 3S they want to push it even more. So
precisely. It's a safe prediction, Dan. It's a safe one.
So I'm going to throw in a community prediction here. Jammy V Rex messaged me. He said he hopes that Gen AI development tool will come to the Meta Horizon worlds. So you'll be able to use AI to generate worlds or generate potential assets or assist in the building process and such. I think that is a excellent idea. It's something that might not even be shown in the Connect, but could be shown later on in like the keynote, in like the developer stuff and whatnot, and could come out later. I think that's an excellent idea. I feel like even if that doesn't come out next week, they're definitely working on that for sure. Would you, if you had like AI assistants and such, would you jump in and get some AI generated worlds going or such? You're not much of a creator, right? You're more of a player, shall we say, the consumer.
Yeah, I have spent time creating in games like Grab, but unless it really grabs my attention, I'm not gonna do that. As a kid, I used to spend a lot of time making maps and Tony Hawk things. And I was very into making the maps in my games and showing them off to friends and having them try to play them. But as an adult, I don't have as much time as I once had. And the time I have, I don't generally spend in that manner.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, whilst we're talking about Horizon Worlds and all of this creating stuff and whatnot, my third prediction is going to be the Quest 3 Augments feature that was shown off last year when the Quest 3 got announced.
Didn't they shut it down?
No. This will feature I'll tell you my prediction and we'll get into that. The feature gets a new announcement, a fresh new announcement, and a demonstration, and it launches in closed beta testing for developers today. Or today, or like that week that they show. They did not shut it down. What happened is they had to go back to the drawing board. It did not work as good as they intended,
That's
or
a
as the
euphemism.
advertisements. Right. And then it did not work as intended because it was meant to be out earlier this year in January in Q1. Boz didn't ask me anything about it, and he said we just had to go all the way back to the drawing board and start from scratch again. So I think, or I hope that they have something to show us this time round. And that when I say closed beta testing for developers, I think that it's still probably not, if they had to go from the start again, it's probably not ready either, but it might be on its way. So yeah, it launches in closed beta. So maybe launching closed beta and hopefully launches sooner rather than later, because I really want to have those augments. So I really want, now I have an apartment rather than living in more of a house. I can see mixed reality would work really well in this apartment that I'm in, because it's just one giant room almost. And I was mapping my mixed reality. Yeah, the pool table fits perfectly. Actually, I was mapping my whole room, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I can see with the drop dead and such, with putting no windows and such, or Aspire 1 with the Aspire 2 or 1 with the mixed reality mode. I can see this working in this apartment, so I need to try this out because before I could never do it because I was in a house. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this feature, but I don't hold my breath. Don't hold my breath. Samson?
Community?
Oh no, that's it. We've done the communities.
No more community. We're done with that.
Samson, your last prediction.
My last one. I'm going wild, Dan. They're going to show off their AR glasses of the future that are not at all close to consumer ready, but will show off what they're working towards.
So funny you say that. Exactly the same prediction almost. I also put as my final prediction is that actually, okay, let me change that a bit and then we can talk about it. The third gen of Ray-Ban Stories will be shown off with incremental improvements that really focus on the AI assistant more than anything. With their meta AI and such, and shows you what it can do. And it will finally release to other countries outside North America, because the AI features were locked to Canada and the US. So I think that will happen with their either third gen, or that will just be the announcement. But I think next year will be the one with the big update, with like the heads up display that everyone's kind of asking for. And then I put also this conference will be one for the future research than the actual products and softwares for now. That kind of alludes to your point in terms of they're going to show off some stuff that is just not going to be there for at least a year, if not 2 years. Also with some of their stuff. But to be honest, Samson, at the same time, the Connect 2 years ago, that was a bit of a bore fest. It was just so much fluff in terms of what's there for the future. That was the one with the Quest Pro, and apart from the Quest Pro stuff, everything was just future, and it was just 2 hours of just like, well, what about now? What about now? And I think they've been better at that. Like last year, they were much better at that. Most of that stuff.
They gave you more practical things last year.
Yeah, and now being a year, they might have learned from that.
Yeah, the year before was when we saw them all playing cards, right? As various avatars. Yeah. Last year they were much more practical.
Well, with the Quest Pro, they were really pushing what this would be. Obviously, it didn't turn out to be anything like that.
It was a flop.
Yeah, it was an absolute flop. So are you? I mean, you own the Ray-Ban Stories. You still got the first gen, or did you get the second gen?
No, I got the second gen. First gen broke.
They broke, right? Yeah. Tell me about it again. Like, how are you liking it? Are you? Because the second gen is a much more improved version.
Yeah. So I'm someone who wears sunglasses. I drive for work, so I'm wearing them for many, many hours on end every day. I generally prefer to wear my Oakleys because they're significantly lighter. Now the weight doesn't really bother me that much when I'm using them. Like when I'll go on a walk with people and I'll know that I might want to take pictures or record things, so I'll wear them. It's more I wear them for events, or like if there's a
Mm.
barbecue, I'll wear them. Whereas my daily driver, I need something lighter because if I'm wearing them for hours on end, I do really, I don't notice them until I switch to glasses, and then I'm like, oh, these are much
Mm.
lighter.
Mm.
I also think I have a wide head because they press. Sometimes when you see like a police officer and they got the
Yeah.
fat that kind of goes over,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I get that these days, and I'm like,
Fair enough.
this is uncomfortable. But I do. The AI is solid. I mostly just use it to ask about weather or things about where I'm at. I do like to use the cam. The camera is much nicer than the first go round. Speakers are much better too,
Mm-hmm.
and like I have taken phone calls on them. Sometimes I'll forget my AirPods at work, and then I will wear them a lot more because I'll be listening to music as I go into stops, things like this, and I can make phone calls on them pretty well. So I do find that they have good uses, and I forget. They're not. If you're buying high end glasses, they're not that much more. I feel if you're already in
Yeah.
that, if you're
Yeah.
already spending that much, right? You're probably going to be spending $50 to $75 more than you otherwise would have, which
Mm-hmm.
in my mind isn't at that high of price. 0 to 75. You're like, oh, I could have spent nothing, but you're already
Yeah.
spending $300, right, or
Yeah.
250 or something.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Uh,
What would
so
you? What would be your like? Your I won't okay. Dream wish list maybe is a bit of a stretch, but more of a like you'd wish you had a few of these features, like maybe in the next year. Like, would it be the heads up display, or is there
yeah,
anything else? That's the main thing.
I'd love some screens of some sorts or something like this. Yeah, I don't really know what I'd incorporate, how it would be incorporated into my life, but imagine if I had a speedometer just in my purview. I just
More
always could know how
striving.
fast I was going. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I maybe having the maps as you're walking potentially, or
Mm.
is that rather than having to get your phone out and such, and it can just AR because
I don't
I
walk
think
much.
I think
I'm not in
Google
a
and
city.
yeah, that's true. You're always Karin driving. I see you've got. I think on Apple you can do this, but definitely in Google. Maybe I'm mixing those up.
Oh,
Anyway,
the
you can definitely
watch.
do the AR. No, the watch,
Oh.
yeah, but you can do the AR where you can hold your phone up and then you can
Hmm.
see the directions. I'm pretty sure that's on Apple's maps, but you're holding your phone up and you're walking around and you don't really want to do that. Having that on the glasses will be really cool. And then maybe also incorporating the AI features, right? You can look at something or be like, hey, can you tell me what this is or something, and then it gives you maybe text on the screen rather than just voice, which might be really helpful. Or maybe you're in a loud place and you just need like a little text thing that can come up. Obviously it's not going to be full on. You can watch a movie or anything like that. We're far from that when it comes to these type of glasses, but just like a
Little
very
helping things. Yeah.
just a little, yeah. The maps hood will be pretty big, I think, if they could do something like that. But alas, I don't know. Without like increasing the battery, increasing the size, and the weight. You've already said that wearing it for a long time, it's not too bad, but
You do
it's
notice it.
heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do notice it. So yeah, I'd be more interested if it does have something like a hood, but rumors are that's not till 2025 at least anyway. So that's why I don't think it's going to come out tomorrow or next week, but
Yeah.
I hope so.
Didn't I feel like the second ones just recently came out.
Yeah, I think they recently. I think it was like earlier this year, if
Yeah.
not. I mean, it was last year they announced them, right? So it must have been just a year ago. That's why I think if they're going to bring a third gen out, it will be very incremental improvements more than anything, and it'll be next year's that you're like, oh, okay, I'm interested
We get
now,
that.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Samson, do you have any other random predictions you wanted to throw out there whilst we're wrapping this part up?
Well, this Wordle app got me thinking that we're going to see some 2D apps, perhaps, but I don't have a particular 2D app in mind. So that's That's the sort of half-assed prediction that the listeners love to hear from me.
Fair enough.
We'll get something flat.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so there's our predictions. Just a quick roundup here. I'm predicting that Quest 3S comes out at $299 end of October with Batman, and it comes with headphone, or you can also buy low latency headphones for it. D-Mirror will tease their Dungeons and Dragons game. Ray-Ban Stories 3rd Gen will be shown off, but you're not going to have anything significant until next year. Quest 3's Augments feature will get an announcement, as what my predictions are. Jammy VREX says he hopes Gen AI development tool for Meta Horizon Worlds. Inferno 9 says he hopes that Batman will be packaged with the Quest 3S. Samson, what were yours? Quickly round them off.
Yes, Quest 3S will come out at $299 with Batman until January. Beat Saber has a mixed reality mode that you can hop in today. Horizon Worlds, we're going to be showing it off, and you're going to like it. We might even show you a new game you can hop in with your friends. Then we're going to show off our AR glasses of the future, so you can see all the things we're working towards that you'll never own. And then maybe something flat.
Just maybe something like that. Beauty. All right, that will do for part 2. If you have any predictions, though, let us know in the comments or in the Discord itself. We're curious to see. And then, obviously, like I said, join us live at 12:30 Eastern or 9:30 Pacific, or 5:30 UK time. I want to say. Anyway, join us live on YouTube. We'll post a link in the Discord and on our Twitter/X on there, where we'll be live watching the show and kind of reacting to it as we go along. And that will wrap up for part 2. We'll see you in part 3, where we'll go through the games out this week and anything else. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/letstalkoculus. Back to the show. All right, welcome back to part 3 games out this week. Samson, we have 3 on the list. Do you want to start us off here?
Yeah, I'll do that. Astro Hunters VR to start. Become one of the mercenaries called Hunters and help the mothership achieve its objectives on the hostile planets. Undertake dangerous missions and challenge other players. In exchange, freely scavenge the planets. You can join forces with other players, but be careful. Hunting down other players to seize their valuable equipment is also an option. Going on an expedition comes with a high reward if you find valuable items. But it's also high risk if you die. You lose everything.
Dun, 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 dun.
Kind of sounds like Ghost of Tabor, but alien-y, more spacey.
Guardians, like Guardians, a little bit ish. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. This is just not the game for me, so I can't speak more about it, to be honest.
So don't. No pressure. It's also probably not for me, but I am near people who I think are into this game, so I'll keep my ear to the ground.
You keep your okay
on how this game.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, the next one is the Mixologist. The Mixologist brings the art of cocktail crafting to life in an immersive virtual reality experience. Whether you're a seasoned bartender or new to the craft, the game offers 100 real-life cocktail recipes to master in single-player campaign or multiplayer co-op modes. Mix, shake, garnish drinks with precision, honing your skills to the intuitive and rewarding gameplay, or attend bars as a Patreon and allow your friends to make your favorite cocktails without getting drunk, I guess. Explore 5 distinct bars, each with its own unique atmosphere and challenges, from cozy neighborhood pub to a bustling rooftop lounge. Each venue offers an experience requiring you to adapt and refine your bartending techniques. As you progress, unlock new recipes and venues, eventually earning your place as a legendary mixologist. Samson, we have a review code for this. I didn't get a chance to play it.
We have a review code?
Yeah, I'll text you after this.
Yeah, I'll have to get in it because I'm pretty interested, and not in buying it, but it does sound fun. It sounds like a great content creator game. Like I could just see somebody having fun and really acting and playing into being a bartender and having to make all these drinks and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
I don't really partake in drinking like this. Lots of I'm not a cocktail type of guy, really.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Uh, not too much, but it's intriguing. I'm curious what the co-op modes are. Like, are you just bartending with friends? At this point, let's just get a job, guys.
I guess I wonder if you can learn how to make these cocktails. Like, if it's real life
Yeah,
cocktails, like, would you
yeah,
learn exactly how to make these cocktails so you can try it in real life? Which I'm
100%.
interested. I'm not. I don't drink a lot of cocktails outside just because it's expensive. That's
Facts.
why it's so expensive that I just stick to the beers and others. But I'm very curious of making cocktails at home, though. It's pretty fun to do. And espresso martini is probably my favorite cocktail of them all.
It is a good
Um,
cocktail. I've never made it
so
at home though.
my old roommate, she had like a real or like a proper nice coffee machine, like one of those Breville's that cost like almost $1,000, and she made me an espresso martini, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I was gonna hop into it. I just didn't get time, unfortunately, but I will definitely try and play it next time. Yeah, we have a review code, Samson. I'll send this to you
I'll
afterwards,
review it.
and we will go through it. All right, Samson, round us off. What is our last game to play?
Last game. It's so nice they named it thrice. Dance, Dance, Dance is an exhilarating rhythm game featuring 2 captivating modes. In Dance mode, players follow a dance instructor, mimicking their moves with precision. As you dance, pop bubbles strategically placed to replicate the moves, earning points, combos, and streaks for accuracy. As the difficulty increases, master specific hand gestures, directional movements, and faster bubble speeds to keep up. But Dan, there's another game mode. In battle mode, the focus shifts to popping bubbles in sync with the music while facing additional challenges. With up to 5 instructors switching bubble patterns, you'll need to stay sharp, navigate obstacles like red walls and red bubbles, and hit special colored bubbles that are probably not red for higher scores. Successfully hitting these bubbles earns you bubble dollars, or bubbles with the dollar sign. Nice. The in game currency. Embrace the rhythm, hone your skills, and conquer the dance floor in Dance, Dance, Dance.
Wow, how many bubbles did you say there? There was a lot of
Bu-
bubbles.
bubbles is bubbles is a lot of that.
Samson, I watched the trailer of this. I don't really understand this game.
Did you see the bubbles?
I did. There's a lot of bubbles. It just kind of looks like a indie version of like a Synth Riders or another. Like I don't know. I don't see if it's doing anything new, to be honest. But alas, I am probably not the demographic. I'm probably not the demographic. You like to dance. You like to have music VR games, rhythm games. You like to pop bubbles ish in Synth Riders. Is this one for you?
No.
They have some classic like disco tunes or like
Is this
you
a
know.
hand tracking game?
It seems like it. I think Mixologist is hand tracking as well, by the way, but I'm not too sure. I guess we'll find out when we review it.
Interesting.
Oh, now he's interested, folks. if
I'm
you're
not.
on the
I know it is interesting that it's a hand tracking game. I'm not interested in it. It basically looks like Synth Riders hand tracking.
Yeah, just a indie version of it. But alas, I guess if you're into that music, then you're into that music. All right, beauty. That's Samson. That is our show. That is the predictions episode. Next week we'll be live. We'll do a lot of actually. We'll go live, and then we'll also have a more recap / reactions episode that will just come out on Friday for everybody. Anyways, so we'll do that. I guess patrons will get it early on Thursday because it's on Wednesday, right?
Perfect.
So that's perfect in there. Samson, you got any fun quotes to round off the show?
I do. Dan, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet.
Oh, beautiful. But you don't have any like fortune cookies anymore. Is this just coming straight off the noggin? And these Samson quotes.
Straight from fortunecookieMessage.com.
I like that.
Which for some reason is a not secure website, so I always have to like just go through Google to get I have to search Google for it, and then
these fortunes are not secure. These fortunes are not secure. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. If you can make it for the live stream, we will see you then. Take care.